1-2. Are they starting to unravel for our eyes? Granted, 2 losses against one team that we are still trying to figure out if they're good. New Orleans. Then all lost against Baltimore, both at home. The Cowboys is always a talking point in the national media, and I get it. I don't know why they're so fucking boring anyway, but they are. They're not interesting. They're not even interesting. Dak Prescott's not interesting. I'm sorry, he's not interesting. He's not.
Ooh, well, I mean, hey, but the argument could be made. You want your quarterback to be boring, but let's not go too far down that road. Like here,
but that's my point.
Dang it. The Cowboys, at least the writing was on the wall. I was just as likely to put them as 10 wins as I was at 7 because of the roster issues, because of the O-line issues, because of Dak's age, because of the running game situation. You know, there's some there.
New Orleans is good. Joe Franchino chimes in, well, buddy, New Orleans is good. Good at what? Not be able to beat an Eagles team that was undermanned at home? Stop. You had a chance. You had a chance to prove yourselves on Sunday that you were a competitive NFC top tier team. You're not. Stop. Okay. I was proven right once again. You guys are frauds. Stop it. Continue.
Ooh, strong language.
Lord.
What can I add to that?
Beat a team first. Beat the Eagles. You lost the Eagles team that didn't have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah,
Done. That's it. My argument's over. I win the argument.
You're 10 toes down on it, but I can't immediately refute you. Yeah, I hear it. I would need more time to evaluate, like I said, what exactly happened in the game itself. But
Anyway, the Cowboys. I mean, we do this every year. One big loss, a couple losses here. Like, season's over. Then they win 12 games. But I don't know. This Cowboys team is. I don't like what I'm seeing last 2 weeks though. They're getting embarrassed. They're not losing close games here. They're getting embarrassed. Now, granted, they came back as Baltimore, which is a little more. This is more about Baltimore in their situation, but they should have been down 25. What was it 25-6 or 28-6?
Yeah. Well, and what is it? They
home,
the stat that the Ravens are among the teams. I think what is it? Since I think in the past 5 years, if they were up 10.
Yeah,
lost 7 games, something like that. In that,
last year alone, they lost a couple games early in the year, losing a couple leads. It could have been their 14-3 record could have been better than 14-3 if they closed out a couple more games.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the punchline. Closing out has been an issue. I mean, people are out here saying fire John Harbaugh. I'm like, don't be.
I heard that. I've heard that.
That's the dumbest damn thing. By the way, you know what? Please fire John Harbaugh. So if they fire Doug Peterson, I can get a Harbaugh to cover personally. I am about that life, EJ Christian.
I would be too. Also, are you concerned with Cowboys though?
Shouldn't you always be at this point? Like, because you don't know what their identity is, they don't know what their identity is. Yeah,
they got no running game. They got no running game, dude. They got zero running game.
That's just where it starts. But
yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
So the next couple games here, next 4 games, Giants at Giants this Thursday. That should be a win.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers on the road. Sunday football. That could be a nasty game. Lions at home and then Niners on the road. Wow, that schedule's fucking tough. After the Giants game, Steelers, Lions, and Niners.
I mean,
this season could go off the rails. Honestly, you have looking at those 4 games.
Well, I'll say
which makes the Giants game must win now.
It stop it. It depends.
If they lose,
you're wrong because it depends on how healthy the Niners are. I hate to tell you to shut up on your own show, but I did have to make that correction.
That's okay. You've had 12 years.
I'm standing on ground I've built in the foundation.
That is a good point, though. I'm assuming though, Trent Williams did play on Sunday, right? He did play. Yes.
Trent Williams is the one guy who isn't hitting the damn sheet.
Right. But the other guys should be back soon, right? They're not out for multiple weeks, right? Debo's out.
I think McCaffrey's looking bad.
Yeah, so he's gonna be out for 6 weeks at least. I know that.
Yeah. I can't speak for Debo yet. And Ayuk's psyche being hurt is also an injury I can't account for. I'm terrible.
That'd be the one game of the 3. I think those 3 tough games where maybe because of the injuries may dictate that. But looking at face value, this season could go off the rails. If they lose to the Giants, look, I'm picking Dallas to win the game for the record on Thursday Night Football. But it is a quick turnaround, short week. It is a short. Calm down. It is a short week though. To number one, it's a short week. Number one, and a quick turnaround, and go out and travel to New York. If they lose to the Giants though, they're 1-3 going into that spot for those three games.
See, but this is actually, you say it could go bad. I say it's very intriguing to see what they have moving forward. Like you're still talking about the Cowboys, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and so for the Cowboys, the point you make is there are some interesting teams on the docket, right? I think the Steelers are a problem. I think the Lions are a problem. Sure. The Niners, that's a revenge game. The Falcons, I believe, are just as winnable. We don't know what to make of them in pure fraud con fashion. I get it. I know, and I say this as somebody who has fallen for the fraud for the first time in a long time, picking them for 11 wins. I still may be right because a lot of their schedule is weak. I get it. But I'm not. What you're saying as a worst case scenario is on the board. Okay. I just don't think it'll go quite that bad. And the back half of their schedule for the rest of the year, not exactly daunting.
Because after the Niners game, you have Falcons, which is frisky. They're frisky. Kirk Cousins is capable at home.
So the next three are Falcons, Eagles, Texans. I get that. Okay.
Man.
But beyond that, help me here. Red Tails, Giants again. Bengals, who we still don't know who they are. The Packers, we know who suck. The Bucks, who are something week to week. The Eagles, again, same thing week to week. And then the Red Tails, who might be their worst, their toughest competition in the division, depending on how things stack.
I have to say, as someone who was 10 toes down on the Cowboys winning 10+ games this year, I may have to look at the schedule and reading the tea leaves right now where we're at so far 3 weeks in.
You're concerned.
I will for the first time in 3 or 4 years may have to back off on that now. If Big Jim does a segment at some point next couple weeks about, look, the Cowboys are in trouble, oh my God, I'm gonna have to agree with him for the first time because
I think there's a little too much panic. Just because there's not clear-cut wins doesn't mean they're in trouble. What I'm noticing also is the lack of clear-cut losses. There's nobody where I look at the schedule like last year. I saw that Niner game coming. I knew the Cowboys were going to lose that game. Didn't realize it was going to be a damn blowout like that, but it still happened. By the way, that was fun to watch for me. Anyway,
of course.
But seriously, there were certain games like going into it, I feel like, for example, them keeping it close with the Ravens was a surprise. And I would have said that before the season started. But there's certain things that have gone a certain way. You did not expect the Saints game to go that bad. And knowing which team is which, is it are they the team that the Saints whooped up on, or are they the team that made it close with a Ravens squad that's still trying to figure out a lot of their identity issues? I don't know. It's still I'm not the one that's producing segments at week 2 saying contender or pretender, so I can actually say this. We don't know. I need to see more.
Okay. That's my words. You need to see more.
Yes, I'm allowed to use
Feed me Seymour.
Whatever you say, clickbait.
I will say,